Did you watch a scary movie?
I ended up buying Beetlejuice and watching Beetlejuice.
Well done. Beetlejuice, totally underrated, I think.
Yeah, I was on the Apple TV, and I ended up in the movie section there.
Yeah?
And it was front and center for $10. And I was like, hell yeah.
Well done.
Love that movie. And it had, I feel like I may own it on VHS or something somewhere. I recently rediscovered a whole couple boxes of VHS tapes in my garage, but I don't recall seeing that one. But
I was at a slumber party.
Great film. Great cast. Great cast.
Fantastic. And like in the first, couple minutes of Michael Keaton, and he drops an F-bomb. And I think we were like in, what were we, 4th or 5th grade, Matt? I just was like, oh my gosh, he said the F word. So the girl's house that we were at, she rewound it like 5 more times, and we just giggled and giggled and giggled.
I think it's one of the like PG-13 ones where they only say it like once, though.
I think so. I think it's only in there once. We just rewound it a bunch. But the dinner scene has to be like one of my all-time favorite movie scenes.
When they get possessed? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, some great acting in there.
Fantastic.
Kate.
Hey, Matt.
You adjusting the daylight saving. How are you doing on that?
I'm doing so far so good, actually. I feel like it's a little early. I say the first 48 hours are kind of hard, but so far so good. No complaints. What about you?
Well, I think I told you recently that I've been adjusting my schedule a little bit to try to wake up a little bit later to get a little more sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And last week was the first week I attempted to do this, and then instead I started waking up earlier and earlier, just naturally.
That is a backfire right there, Matt.
It is. And the daylight saving thing isn't helping.
Not helping, is it? Your body's just saying, time to get up, buttercup.
Yeah, and I know it's not really an original complaint to complain about daylight saving time, but it is pretty obnoxious.
I do think it's one of the safer complaints right now in the world in current times. In current times, you just tell me all you want about daylight savings. I will listen. You start to broach other topics, and I'm just going to tune you out.
That's a good point. We can unite this country, Kate.
Yeah.
Through the power of uniting against daylight saving time. Although there's got to be some people out there that are, okay with it because it continues to be a thing after all these years of complaining.
Oh, because we keep doing it every year. Yeah.
Kate, did you start Christmas shopping yet?
I have not started Christmas shopping yet, though I keep telling myself maybe I should get on that. What about you? Are you Christmas shopping already?
No, I'm probably just going to give cash.
Oh, how do I get on that list?
Well, I guess I'm probably not going to give cash to my parents now that you mention it.
You're just going to pay their cell phone bill this month, or?
Yeah, I could do that since I'm managing the cell phone bill. I just won't request the reimbursement on that. There you go. Merry Christmas. Have a free month of cell service. Great.
I got you covered this month, Mom and Dad.
Mm-hmm.
So right. Generous. So generous.
Yeah, but you actually do. I mean, since you have the kids.
We keep saying we're not going to buy a ton of stuff. I mean, just to reiterate, we're in an apartment. Half of our stuff is in a storage unit. Stuff that we have lived this far without. That do we even need that stuff still? So I always struggle about, I want to give them experiences instead of stuff. But with current times, are there going to be experiences and, you know what I mean, available? So we've talked about doing horseback lessons, and we've talked about doing art lessons. And do we want those to be Christmas presents, or do we want those to just be like things that we provide? So hard to figure things out with Christmas already. My husband's already trying to get out of like, let's not do gifts this year. I feel the pressure because he has great ideas for gifts, but when it comes down to purchasing, wrapping, and being ready, I feel like it comes on my shoulders where I'm like, hey, let's just give the gift of togetherness and we'll all be together. I don't know. I want to make memories, and 2020 has already sucked for them. So I kind of want to do something fun this year for the kids. But as far as like friendly gift giving, I haven't done anything, Matt. I've got great ideas and not as much money to go with those ideas, but I've got great ideas.
Friendly gift giving meaning like buy something for friends and mail it to them or something?
Yeah, either mail it to them or, pick up at school. Like, those little gifts that people get around holidays? You know what I'm talking about?
What, like little trinkets or something like that? Or
bottles of wine or gift cards or, the coffee mug with goodies inside it, but it's wrapped all pretty and it's got something fun on it. I'm very thoughtful, Matt. I'm just not very good at following through.
You're good at thinking about it, but not.
Yes, I'm really good about thinking about it.
Thoughtful on the front end, but not so much on the back end.
Follow through sucks.
Now, do you think if you were to give the kids, because you can give goods or services, that's kind of what you're indicating, that you'd be giving something that's not really like a wrappable deal. I mean, you could write down horse lessons or something.
Right.
Put that inside of a box and then tie it to a rock or something to make it have some kind of heft to it.
Rattle.
And give that to it. Does that make it awkward, gift giving, when it is something like that, an experience?
Well, does it make it like disappointing when a kid sees a box underneath and then like opens it and it's an envelope? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about these things too. So it's not exactly going to be a surprise. And what if we do it all in November? Like, hey, those things we did last month? That was your Christmas present. Merry Christmas. Wouldn't that be horrible?
That's why I got to tell them beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be kind of funny, kind of mean.
Be funny just to be retroactive with it.
Kind of funny, kind of mean.
Oh, yeah, you already got your gifts.
Just so you know, guys, you're not unwrapping anything. Just socks and underwear. Because that's what Santa brings at our house. Socks and underwear.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of little things that Santa brings, but Mommy and Daddy work really hard during the year. So Mommy and Daddy give the good things. Santa, socks and underwear.
My aunt likes to remind me often, which means like every year around Christmas time, that when I was a little kid, she'd give me something. It was like a sweater or something like that, right?
Right.
And then I go, clothes, yuck, or something like that. And so she likes to continue to hold that over me.
Aunts are supposed to give the fun stuff, right? The bajillion pieces with lots of batteries that the parents go, thanks so much.
Right.
I thought that was an aunt and uncle gift. But yeah, I remember specifically having a meltdown on Christmas Eve because we get to open one present on Christmas Eve. And we got to do it before Mass, which was like a huge deal. And my mom even was like, you should open these boxes. So my brother and I opened these boxes, and they were what she wanted us to wear to Mass on Christmas Eve, which is not what I wanted. And I had like a meltdown, and my mom had to talk to me very kindly because I think I for sure hurt her feelings. But she was very calm about teaching us if we get things that we don't like, that we still have to be grateful and appreciative and thank people for their efforts. So now there's like code words in our family. If somebody opens something they don't like, they go, oh, thank you for your efforts.
Oh.
Isn't that great?
That's how you do that? Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Great advice there from Kate.
That's better than saying, oh, I hope you kept the receipt. That's better than like, this is the ugliest sweater you've ever bought me. That was, I think, the big part of the meltdown, Matt. Like, she bought me something, like the sweater wasn't the problem. I was like, why would you buy this sweater for me? This is the ugliest sweater. And her point was like, do you think I really went to the store looking for the ugliest sweater and went looking for something that I thought you would like?
This'll show her.
This'll show her for Christmas Eve. So we had to have the long talk of, thank you for your efforts.
How old do you think you were?
Oh, way too old. Like
15.
Old enough to know better. I would at least say 6th grade. At least. And I might be trying to pad myself a little bit because I don't want to believe that I could have been that old. But yeah. Christmas memories, right, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Luckily, I don't have any really mean ones like that I can recall.
Sweater, yuck.
Clothes, yuck, I think was actually out.
Clothes, yuck.
And yeah, I can't recall what clothing item it was.
I mean, how old were you?
I bet you. My
5.
guess would be like 5, 6, something like that, probably.
Whereas I'm like preteen and just a brat. Okay, cool. But I have definitely had to talk to my girls about that lesson early on because there have been things that they're like, what? Thank you for your efforts.
You figure out Thanksgiving yet?
Oh my gosh. Thanksgiving, I think is going to be a whirlwind of a Thanksgiving. We have no school Wednesday through Monday for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think Monty has off Wednesday through Sunday. And I took some days. I know that we're doing my family on Saturday and Sunday. So there's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that we're trying to figure out. And do we go see Monty's side of the family? I'm very selfish about Thanksgiving. I should put that up there, that Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. And we always do a big Thanksgiving on my dad's side of the family. And when Monty and I got married, I was kind of like, you can have all the Christmases you want, but I want Thanksgiving with my family. And so we've kind of been in that habit of my family gets Thanksgiving and we do Christmas with his side. And now this year it's just kind of weird. So we might try to do stuff with his family. Not sure how it's all going to work with everybody's schedules. So
you might do something with him just because you're off for a longer stretch of time than you have in the past?
Well, because we're not doing as much with my family. I'm trying to be very unselfish and say, would you like to spend time with your family for Thanksgiving too, since we've got this time and since my family is only, because truth be told, if I could, I would be at my mom's Wednesday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to be helpful this year.
You're being helpful this year because like social distancing type stuff or what? What do you mean?
I mean, because there's not something every day planned for my family.
Whereas in years past there would be, or in a typical year?
Yes. A typical year, we would have lots of things for my mom's family and my dad's family and my immediate family in that Thanksgiving break.
Right, because you're trying to minimize sharing of oxygen. Is that the main reason why?
Well, I think this year lots of families aren't doing Thanksgivings. My mom's side of the family is not doing a Thanksgiving. My dad's side of the family is not doing a Thanksgiving. So we're just going to do our immediate Thanksgiving. So that takes out 2 days right there. So I am saying we've got 2 extra days. Do you want to spend time with your family?
Gotcha. So the extended family stuff's basically been reined in.
Correct.
Okay.
On my side.
That makes sense.
I think so. I think it's smart. It sucks. I saw something the other day. It's like, don't cancel Thanksgivings and Christmas because you don't know if it's your last Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
Live your life. Go live your life fearless or something like that. And I said, it just doesn't make sense to me because we are still wearing our seatbelts. We're still driving the speed limit. We're still, being responsible. Like, why would you still have Thanksgiving where grandma... You're right. Grandma might not be here next year, but it might be your fault this year.
Right.
That's the part I don't understand. Like, if you want grandma to have more Thanksgivings and Christmases, don't go see her. Don't put her in danger. I don't know. Such a weird current times, right?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't know if that logic makes any sense at all.
Don't live your life in fear, Matt.
Except maybe this year.
Except for maybe this year.
Yeah.
It's not a boogeyman. It's real.
Yeah, but there might actually be a vaccine next year,
Fingers crossed.
Right. If you're like, well, this is how things are forever now, if it's like, now you're always going to potentially be, murdering the older people in your family if you're around them, then okay, that's a different argument.
That's a different argument. I agree. Do you know what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving?
No, I don't. Still haven't heard that. My concern is that we're going to try to do too much, but
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to prejudge it, especially since they might be listening. I don't want to influence that. So
it seems like it's forever away. Like, how are we talking about Thanksgiving?
I know
it is not forever away.
It's pretty much here.
It's tomorrow. There's going to be those people who are going to say, I don't know, who are going to roll their eyes when I say that part about living in fear. But I can't believe people who think like that on so many levels. For lots of things.
On the screw it, you only live once.
Yeah.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah.
YOLO, Grandma.
YOLO, Grandma.
I don't know. Hey, Matt.
Yes, Kate.
So we've talked about, this is kind of random, but you and I have talked about what we called our grandparents growing up, right?
Yes.
Have we broached that topic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because mine were really boring. It was basically grandma and grandpa, insert last name.
Okay. And I had granny and granddaddy and grandma and grandpa.
I really like granny.
Okay, and she's very much like the epitome of a granny. But when you were a kid and you had to say, oh, I'm going to my granny's after school, like it was just kind of like, ugh, kind of cringe a little bit. You didn't want to say granny because, all your friends said grandma and grandpa. Like that was so much cooler.
It makes me think of Sylvester and, what was the bird's name? Tweety?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a granny?
Tweety bird? Granny, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I hear granny.
Okay, that's pretty much my granny.
Okay.
But my mom goes by GM. Right? Because when my sister adopted her oldest, my mom was like, I am too young to be granny or grandmother or grandma. So she wanted to be GM, which of course stands for grandmother. But over the weekend, she was saying that, if the kids ever want to say a different name, if they're kind of like a little embarrassed by GM, which I'm sorry, but she's been a GM for over 20 years now. We're just now having this conversation. But she said they can just say their grandmother. And I cringed. I was like, no. She's like, I hate grandma. And I said, Mom, grandmother makes you sound so old. Like,
yeah.
I would rather, and granny is even worse. So she hates grandma. And I said, they're going to call you what they're going to call you. She goes, I know, but I don't want them to say grandma. I'm like, well, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to hear it.
So why
if they introduce you, I don't know. She thinks it maybe the way it comes, grandma, mama. I don't know.
Well, if you say it like that.
Did you like that visual representation? Mama. I'm so glad only you can see me make that face when I make that sound.
It can say grandma. They can say grandma. They don't have to say grandma. Mama.
Well, right, exactly. I think she hates the sound of the word. But grandma. I said that they would never introduce her as this is my grandma or this is my grandmother. They would introduce you. It's just when you're not around, it's what they call you. And she said, I know. I said, but you're not going to be around when they call you their grandma. She goes, well, I just prefer grandmother. I'm like, I don't know about you, Matt. Do you ever call your mom mother?
No.
I hate mother. I don't like the way mother. And when the girls call me mother, it grosses me out. I'm like, stop that.
What are they calling you mother for?
They know it upsets me. I had to change my words there. Mother. Didn't you hear what mother said? I'm like, oh, I can't stand it. You call me mom. You can call me mama. You can call me mommy. You can call me hey you. No, just kidding. Don't call me hey you. But I cannot stand mother. So I was trying to explain that to my mom and it fell flat. And it was a interesting discussion. But I didn't know if I'm the only one that mother. Ugh. Thanks, but no thanks. What do you think, Matt? Do you hate being called mother?
Actually, if I started being called, if mother was my nickname or something, I think that'd be pretty cool.
What up, mother?
But if I was actually a mother, no, I don't think so. It sounds so proper. It feels like Little House on the Prairie or something.
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah. Little House on the Prairie.
Like there should be like a weird accent behind it, Grandmother.
This is my grandmama. No, I can't stand it. And that's how my kids, like, they'll get under my skin by saying mother. Ugh.
Mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every now and then I get a mommy dearest. But they don't know what it means, so I think it's even kind of cuter. Like it's,
I didn't know that mommy dearest meant something.
Yeah, Mommy Dearest, the movie. Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
No.
Where the mom, Jane Crawford. Okay. Jane Crawford? Betty Davis?
Nope.
The mom is really mean to the daughter, and she makes her call her Mommy Dearest.
I thought mommy dearest or mother dearest was just a phrase.
No, mommy dearest is from an old movie where the mom was really, really mean to the daughter, and she made her say mommy dearest.
You're always referencing these old movies like you're 100 years old, Kate.
My mom watched a lot of Turner Classic Movies, I'm telling you.
So I think what other movie you referenced recently where I was like, what movie are you talking about?
Or were you thinking of Play Misty for Me?
Oh, yeah, maybe that was it because we had that.
That was it. But I don't think you were way off because you did not think it was something new.
Well, Misty is a song, and then it is an old song called Misty. And then we had this listener call in and be like, we had a listener call in who thought I was 20 and thought you were 60 or something.
Old balls. Thanks.
Old what, Kate?
Seasoned. Seasoned. I think that's the word she said. And she's very sweet and she's very kind. But she thought there was a definite age difference between us because I sound seasoned. And she never uses the word immature. I think you threw immature out there, but...
Yeah, when I'm talking about myself, yes.
I'm seasoned. Yeah. But I think she was being complimentary of you being hip and young with the kids and... Here's the old mother over here.
Right.
She's very sweet, though. We love phone calls like that, don't we, Matt?
Yes, we love feedback in general. Yeah. Even if it's mean, even if it's brutal.
Yeah. Because when she picked up the phone, she was like, I'm going to tell them. She was not like that at all. It's just where the conversation went. How old are you, Matt?
Yeah, it's basically phrased as, you guys are like really different ages, right? And it's like, nope, we're just a few months within each other.
Yep.
And then she's like, oh, well, you sound like you're 20, and then she sounds like she's 80, so that throws me off.
I think it's funny because I think a lot of things you sound way more responsible and more well-rounded and like a grown-up than I do. But
yeah,
you got the 20-something, and I got seasoned.
We got all those children over there. You know.
I've been around the sun too many times. Wah, wah, wah.
Married with children, Kate. See?
Love and marriage. Yep. I am coming up on a big anniversary.
Which one?
I'm not kidding. I am kidding. I'm sorry. Coming up on our, I don't know, Matt.
I don't understand your kiddings often.
Well, today's off. There's the daylight savings, Matt.
I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding.
Maybe I'm fine, but maybe my brain is just off. I'm trying to do the math now. Okay, so...
All right, so far we have it's an important anniversary for you, and then I'm kidding, and then I'm not kidding.
And then I'm not kidding.
And then now you're trying to do math. So I am so perplexed. I have no idea what's coming. Is this a anniversary with Monty?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we're in November, so you guys either...
November is met, engaged, and married. That's the month of November for us.
No child, though. You don't have a birth...
No child. December is the baby.
Okay.
But I can't do math. Math is hard. I thought this was our 15 years of together, but it's only 14 years together, 12 years married. So never mind. I just have an anniversary coming up. Not a big one.
All right. Well, happy not big anniversary.
It's just another day, Matt. Are you supposed to do things for anniversaries that aren't big anniversaries? I mean, I know you're supposed to still like do a card and a hug. Card and a gift.
Card and a hug.
I know. That's horrible. Happy anniversary.
Maybe a very explicit hug, but...
Oh. I was just thinking, like, you've been married long enough. Like, here's your gift. Later.
Here's your gift. I think at some point, yeah, you just need to remember that it's a thing, right? And just like, oh, happy anniversary.
Right? Matt, I just got a new case for my phone. My also, like, indestructible case. It survived many a crash, but I scratched the screen protector pretty good. So the major point of swiping, like, you know, the lower half of your phone, like it had a big jagged scratch in the screen protector. So I had to get a new one. But right as I'm ordering the new screen, I see that Apple is working on a self-healing phone. Have you heard about this?
Like a patent or something?
It's a patent application. So one would assume, which I know that's dangerous, that they are working on a phone that can self-heal itself. Self-heal itself? Did I say that a little redundantly? I think so.
No, it's perfect.
Industry experts are saying that if they pull off this invention, it would allow for a foldable iPhone to fix its own damaged screen when dust or debris gets in there and messes things up. That's kind of like a little freaky, right? That when the phone charges, it will fix itself.
That's interesting because I know like these folding phones, these screens that fold are just a couple years old at this point, and that they're known for kind of being fragile because the screen has to be plastic, and basically debris was getting under these screens, so you get like a little bump in the display. So I guess it's talking about finding a way to zap that or mush it out or something interesting.
Well, it's a patent application for self-healing display. So, I mean, if you dropped your phone in water, it's not going to fix itself. But if you crack your screen or like what you said, like get dust or debris in there, it's supposed to fix itself.
So even with a cracked screen, it's supposed to do that.
That's what I'm seeing from 9to5mac.com.
Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like everything gets patented. And
really?
Like 5% of things actually end up happening. Yeah, in general, there's a lot of patents out there. It's like, let's go ahead and patent this because we might be able to pull it off. And I mean, there are some companies that just exist to file patents and then sue other companies.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, they're called patent trolls.
Oh, so, that's a real job.
Yep. So it'd be like a flying car. That'd be great. You know, and then eventually someone figures out the technology and like, hey, our patent's close enough. You need to pay us some royalties. Yeah, that's a thing that exists.
I mean, who really grows up saying, I want to be a patent troll?
Nobody does. I mean, eventually people are just like, I want money. How can I be opportunistic and make some, you know?
You think that's a high-paying job?
I don't think it's a dream anyone has. Potentially. Yeah, I mean, you say job as if it's like listed on LinkedIn or something. Hey, patent troll, I'll go do that.
What do you think the fancy resume term for patent troll is? Patent research advisor.
I was going to say lawyer, but that might be mean to lawyers.
That might be mean a little bit.
But yeah, I mean that's what they do. I mean, it's a bunch of lawyers that sue people for infringing on patents.
And all you have to do is pay them money, and they'll go away.
That's right. Yeah, give us the right amount of taste there, and we'll do it. Well, I think a lot of this. So when you see Apple or insert tech company name here file a patent, they are basically trying to stave off, keep the trolls at bay. You know. So I don't know. All these whenever there's something filing, oh right, can't wait. I'm so happy they're doing that. It's like wait for another 10 years. I don't know.
Like the flying car.
Yeah, forever waiting another 10 years on that one, yeah.
Come on. What a letdown, right?
It's called a plane.
I know.
It's more of a flying bus than a car, but yeah.
Matt, do you remember what you were doing in the year 2000? I mean, do you remember like how weird it was about the Y2K stuff?
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember people freaking out about that. Yeah, I remember it. I remember I remember the house a friend's house, and this is high school, right? And I was at a friend's house for the countdown was waiting for things to break on Y2K, and nothing happened.
Right. It's like everybody was preparing for doom for Y2K, and then 2020, everybody was preparing like, woohoo, 2020, like it's going to be a bright year. That's at least my vision of it. 2020, definitely a different year for sure. But I saw something online that it was like, what was normal in 2000, but strange in 2020? Like some of the things we did in 2000 that we're definitely not doing in 2020, like coughing in public. You're not going to do that anymore, right?
That was still pretty gross when people, whenever someone starts coughing, historically, I recall being like, I don't really want to move further into their airspace.
You remember stink-eyeing people then?
I think I'm pretty good at having a poker face, not just stink-eyeing people. But
okay.
But yeah, I mean, kind of back away a little bit. I don't know if I really want to invade their airspace any. I don't think I needed a pandemic to tell me to stay away from someone just because they're coughing. But
okay, normal things in 2000, strange in 2020, a landline phone. Do you still have a landline?
I do not, but I know a lot of people still do.
I know. Isn't that nuts?
I'd say it's a fraction, clearly. Pretty small percent, and probably skews a little bit older. But
along those lines, an answering machine to go with your landline.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No
My
texting.
mom still has the answering machine and the landline.
Really?
She does. And I don't know. I know because she owns a business that it separates. You've reached the home line. If you're trying to reach us at the business, here's the phone number. But certainly she doesn't keep it for this reason. But my dad is still on the answering machine. So every now and then I still call the landline to listen to the answering machine. So I'm secretly hoping that she doesn't get rid of the answering machine, or at least tell me
so it's
before she does.
It's for business?
Well, I know that on the answering machine line, it says you've reached the home of, if you're trying to reach us at the business, here's the phone number. Because I know that they do get phone calls for the business at home several times.
Gotcha. So that makes sense. That's a good reason why one might still have a landline.
Yeah.
Business-related type stuff.
Yeah. When's the last time you rewound a movie when you were done watching it, Matt?
Oh, dear. That one's really tough. Especially I was pretty early on DVDs. So, gosh, sheesh. Yeah, that's probably... It may be before then. It may be before the year 2000.
Okay. What about printing out your route from MapQuest before leaving the house? Did you ever have to do that?
Yeah, I think I did that in high school when I went to a friend's house for the first time. I kind of recall it not working very well and kind of pointing me to the wrong neighborhood by a decent bit.
Right.
So.
Saying.com at the end of every web address.
That one's not that bad. I mean, I bet you I still say .com a decent bit. But as far as saying like www, like there's no need to do that. So.
Getting excited about receiving emails.
Yeah. Email can be pretty cool still, time to time.
It can.
But mostly, it's obnoxious.
Mostly, it's a bunch of junk. What about storing family photos in an actual photo album?
Yeah, that one I kind of miss. I don't think people are doing a very good job. I think they're just counting on Facebook to resurface their memories at this point.
Or the cloud, yeah.
Right.
I used to be so good about putting photos in albums. Nope.
Yep. Now it's like, all of it just magically goes to a place.
Right.
Ta-da, done.
I'll need to get that.
Finished.
Same thing with developing film and floppy disks.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember how many problems I had with floppy disks in college. And not even floppy disks, just disks in general.
Yep, get it away from the magnets. Keep those magnets away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I had it in my book bag. I don't carry magnets in my book bag. Why doesn't it work?